John says, oh, you should see the cornflakes we're making. We're making our own cereal. And Will is saying, oh, no, don't. I made that.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest company origin stories.
They tweaked the technology so that anyone could upload or share a video with just one click.
For this list, we're looking at the weirdest and most trivial reasons why renowned companies were allegedly set up. Which of these took you the most by surprise? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Flickr.
Once you get in, you'll want to upload your photos right away. The easiest thing to do is go up to the U tab.
Years before Instagram became the go-to photo sharing service, Flickr reigned supreme. Founded in 2004 by Stuart Butterfield and Katarina Fake, the image and video hosting site provided a platform for basically anyone with a camera to share content online. But the story of how it all came about is rather interesting. Inspired by the card game Neopets, Butterfield and Fake created the aptly titled game Neverending, which featured an interactive tool for players to share pictures. While the Neverending game was pretty much dead on arrival, the photo sharing tool was reworked into what became known as Flickr. Although the platform isn't nearly as popular these days, its co-founders were able to milk over $20 million from it after selling it to Yahoo.
Flickr. See the world around you. Share the world you see.
Number 9. Little Trees.
I'm part of a huge family of refreshing fragrances.
If you own a car, chances are there is a tree-shaped air freshener dangling from your rearview mirror. The popular accessory was invented in 1952 by German-Canadian chemist Julius Zeeman. Zeeman was discussing with a milk truck driver who complained bitterly about the foul smell of spilled milk in his vehicle. To get rid of the odor, Zeeman experimented with different ideas until he came up with the perfect solution.
He complained to a customer who happened to be a chemist who used his knowledge of tree aromas and created the first automotive air freshener.
He extracted fragrant oils from Canadian alpine trees, which he then soaked absorbent cardboards in. Today, the company has made sales of over 1 billion units. Their success just goes to show that you shouldn't cry over spilled milk because it could be the inspiration for a $1 million invention. Number 8. TGI Fridays.
People, this isn't Thursdays, all right? It's what, Jimmy?
It's Fridays, sir.
That's right. Maybe that BS flies over at PJ McWhiskers, but not here, okay?
Many know TGI Fridays as a classic American restaurant chain serving everything from burgers to salad and even seafood. But its history is a lot more fascinating than you would ever imagine. Back in the 60s, Alan Stillman was a single perfume salesman living in the Upper East Side of Manhattan who found it hard to meet women. Knowing his neighborhood housed a lot of models and airline stewardesses, Stillman opened TGI Fridays, hoping to create the go-to bar for single people who were ready to mingle.
The concept came about from my being about 28 years old and looking for a place to meet as many good-looking women as I could.
And it became just that. Although the atmosphere there is a lot different these days, it's still amusing to think of the beloved food chain as a thriving singles bar.
Fridays has a bar area, which is a cheery place, and lots of regulars there.
Yeah, they lost by like 20 points. They got dropped down.
A nice place to meet someone, too.
Number 7. Netflix.
It's been so exciting for Netflix over the last few years to expand around the world. Now we understand much more how different nations like to give feedback.
As a company, streaming giant Netflix has undergone a tremendous evolution over the years. It first began as a DVD rental service, which introduced a streaming option along the line before foraying into film and TV production itself. The idea for the company first came when co-founders Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph were carpooling home from work. It's often alleged that Hastings was inspired to create Netflix after their eventual rivals Blockbuster charged him a $40 late fee for renting the movie Apollo 13.
It's like flying with a dead elephant on our back.
While this story may or may not be true, Netflix soon became an immense success and contributed to Blockbuster's ultimate downfall.
Did you know that Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix, but they didn't?
They had the opportunity, so I'm told, so I've heard, so the legend goes, to buy them at a reasonable price.
Number 6. Adidas and Puma. Adidas and Puma are two of the largest sports brands in the world, but they probably wouldn't be in existence today if not for a heated family feud. Adolf and Rudolf Dassler had previously worked together as the Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory, which was originally started by the former. However, after the Second World War, a heavy dispute arose between the siblings for reasons that are still unclear, even to their descendants. Some theorize that in a bid to get rid of him, Adolf had provided information to American troops that led to Rudolph's imprisonment during the war. After his release, Rudolph went his separate way and formed Puma, while Adolf rebranded their original company into Adidas.
In 1936, Adi handmade a pair of running shoes for a young American athlete called Jesse Owens, who went on to win 4 gold medals.
Number 5. Kellogg's.
No sex, no meat, no alcohol, no sugar, no anything prurient or sensual.
Although they now produce a wide variety of cereal and other convenience foods, Kellogg's is still widely known for its original product, cornflakes. The invention of the now ubiquitous breakfast cereal is attributed to brothers John Harvey and William Keith Kellogg. According to multiple publications, John was so uncomfortable with the idea of sex and self-pleasure that he practiced abstinence, even though he was married. Apparently, he believed that meats and spicy foods encouraged sexual desires, while less tasty alternatives could potentially curb them.
I think Dr. Kellogg was perhaps one of the first physicians to realize that what you put into your body had a lasting effect on your health.
This led to the discovery of cornflakes and set the stage for what became the Kellogg Company.
They did sue each other for almost a decade over who had the right to be the real Kellogg.
Number 4. 3M. In 1902, 5 businessmen in Two Harbors, Minnesota came together to form the Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing Company. Their goal? To drill the earth for corundum, a highly valuable mineral used in making sandpaper. However, by the time operations began, they were puzzled to find that the compound present in the mine was actually anorthosite, which was practically worthless. Notwithstanding, they forged ahead with sandpaper production, making use of raw materials imported from other countries. Since then, the company has produced a vast array of commodities, ranging from masking tape to Post-it notes and N95 masks. By their 100th anniversary, the executives finally realized they weren't doing a lot of mining anymore, so they rebranded as 3M Company. Number 3. Google Images.
Searching for images on Google just got easier and more visual with sorting. Now, when you search for an image, you'll not only see images related to your search, but you can also quickly sort the results by subject.
The year was 2000. Singer, dancer, and actress Jennifer Lopez attended the 42nd Grammy Awards wearing a green Versace silk chiffon dress. Immediately after Lopez stepped onto the red carpet at the ceremony, she captured everyone's attention and managed to hold it long after the event was over. Google was inundated with requests for the look, which they referred to as, quote, the most popular search query they had received up until that point.
When Jennifer wore this dress to the Grammys, the next day so many people were searching for Jennifer in the dress. And then to make sure that they got the images, they made a button.
They invented Google Images because
search
of that.
Image, you know, that button that you can search only because of Jennifer Lopez. Is so cool.
Prior to that event, search results were just a long list of blue links. But after Lopez's unforgettable appearance, the company began working on an added picture feature. In July of 2001, Google Images was created. Number 2. YouTube.
The lofty goals back then was just to try to create a solution to more of a technical problem about how to make it possible to share videos online.
The 2004 Super Bowl will always be remembered for the infamous Nipplegate controversy. While performing during the halftime show, Justin Timberlake ripped off a part of Janet Jackson's costume, revealing her breast for a split second, in what he later claimed was a wardrobe malfunction. The live incident was met with national outrage and led to numerous developments in the media. Perhaps one of the most monumental, yet least known of those, was the birth of YouTube. The online platform was founded by Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Javed Karim, who had a hard time finding clips of the controversial affair, as well as the horrifying Indian Ocean tsunami. This created the need for a video sharing platform, which they filled by launching YouTube in February 2005.
We're going to stay committed to developing the best service for you, developing the most innovative service and tools and technologies so you can keep having fun on our site.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. NASCAR.
It's been told
that some of the moonshiners got to bet who had the fastest car.
The National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, or NASCAR, was formed in 1948 by a mechanic named Bill France Sr. Today, the company oversees a variety of races that are watched by fans all around the world. But its roots trace back to a forbidden trade from the Prohibition era. Back then, bootleggers who distributed illegally obtained booze modified their cars in a bid to achieve faster speeds and outrun the police.
And pretty soon, that wasn't enough. They had to go to different engines. They started putting those Cadillac ambulance engines in the 44s, trying to get all the horsepower they could.
Even after Prohibition was repealed, these drivers continued racing when they discovered that people were eager to pay just to watch them. In the mid-1930s, France Sr. became involved in these races and eventually came up with the idea to unify the competitions under a single body called NASCAR.
This one's for you, Harry. It's going high.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.